Roman Reigns, the biggest star in WWE despite recent returns, Carmella shares an unfortunate update. Recent backstage update on Jade Cardels' WWE status. Seth Rollins reunites with former Stablemate Backstage. Rhea Ripley sends flirtatious message to WWE Raw star Randy Orton's plans. Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley in a massive twist. Cody Rhodes' AEW connection to affect his first world title in WWE following CM Punk return. Let's jump right into it. Carmella shares an unfortunate update. WWE superstar Carmella has shared an update on her injury on social media following the birth of her son. The 36-year-old WWE superstar got hitched to Corey Graves last year. The duo had a son on November 8, 2023. Shortly after, she revealed that she suffered nerve damage on her foot following the birth of her child. Carmella recently shared a video on her Instagram handle highlighting her road to recovery after her pregnancy. A fan asked if the damage on her foot was healed, and here's what she said in response. At Thurgio's, unfortunately not. Doing acupuncture and chiropractic care to help. Crossing my fingers it gets better soon, Carmella replied to a fan. Carmella shared a lengthy Instagram story in which she opened up about the nerve damage that she suffered on her foot after the birth of her child. She did add that her injury would heal in a few weeks, so it's making it difficult to walk, which is a bit annoying. But the anesthesiologist, because I thought it was originally from the epidural, I didn't know what was wrong. But he said it can happen with pushing on your back and it should hopefully resolve in a few weeks. I'm going to see a chiropractor next week, which will hopefully help. My acupuncturist has been working on it, so we'll see. Fingers crossed it's better soon, Carmella said. Carmella's last match on WWE TV was in March 2023. She took on Bianca Belair on the March 6, 2023 episode of Raw and suffered a pinfall loss. She later went on a hiatus due to her pregnancy. Do you miss Carmella on WWE TV? Recent backstage update on Jade Cardels' WWE status. There has been some recent updates about Jade Cardels' WWE status since the former AEW star has signed to the company. Cardel was one of the most decorated stars during her time in AEW and is still one of the cherished stars in the field of professional wrestling. Despite signing with WWE, Cardel hasn't been drafted to any of the brands yet. The former AEW star has recently been training at the Performance Center and has made some appearances during some of the events. It has recently been reported by PW Insider that Cardel will be training for some more time now in the Performance Center itself. Although no date has been finalized for her main roster debut or her NXT debut, Cardel will be training once or twice a week for now. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray recently suggested that Jade Cardel should make her debut at the Royal Rumble Premium Live event. While speaking in an episode of the Busted Open Radio, Ray suggested that the company should bring Cardel to the main roster soon or the fans would lose interest in her. He also spoke about why the company has stopped showing her on TV lately. The veteran further added that the company should consider bringing Cardel at the Royal Rumble PLE. Right now, she has not been seen as much on TV because you can't just keep showing somebody and doing nothing with it, because then you get tired of seeing them doing absolutely nothing. Closer to the Royal Rumble, maybe she pops up. Maybe she pops up and then you bring her in the Rumble. Give me a logical reason in the world of sports entertainment why Jade Cardel could not debut at the Royal Rumble and win. It would be interesting to see if Jade Cardel would make her debut at Royal Rumble or not. What are your thoughts on the same? Seth Rollins reunites with former Stablemate Backstage. Seth Rollins reunited with a familiar face backstage on WWE Raw for the first time in a long time. When the current World Heavyweight Champion was a member of the Authority many years ago, J&J Security, featuring Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury, were hired to be his bodyguard. They helped him win matches and cheat, but they were also there to protect him from his rivals. However, after being destroyed by Brock Lesnar on the July 6 episode of Raw, they no longer appeared beside him on TV. Jamie Noble recently took to Instagram to share a photo of himself and Seth Rollins holding his world title belt. He wrote that he's proud of the visionary and can't wait to see what the new year brings for him. So proud of my boy Seth. He's killing it as the Raw working heavyweight world champion. I love helping Seth and he's a great wrestler, but an even better person. Can't wait to see what 2024 brings, wrote Noble. After CM Punk returned at Survivor Series, War Games, several clips of the visionary being furious went viral on social media as it showed him shouting at Punk and flipping him off. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, Vince Russo bashed Seth Rollins for doing his regular goofy walk on the red brand and not capitalizing on what took place on Saturday. Seth doesn't even walk out paw. If he was so paw, he was dropping F-bombs. He comes out his goofy self, dancing, and bro, that dude don't get it. I'm sorry, bro. He does not get it up here. Bro, he does not understand it, man. He doesn't have a clue. You want to get that over like that was a shoot on Saturday night, and 2 days later, he's coming out like the Seven Dwarfs, Vince Russo said. Seth Rollins took a massive shot at CM Punk during the show by calling him a hypocrite. It'll be interesting to see if this leads to a big feud between the two stars in the future. Have you been enjoying Seth's world title run? Rhea Ripley sends flirtatious message to WWE Raw star. Rhea Ripley has sent a flirtatious message to a WWE Raw star today on social media. The Eradicator was in action this past Saturday at WWE Survivor Series 2023 in Chicago. She successfully defended her Women's World Championship against Zoe Stark in a singles match and showed up during the men's War Games match. Ripley brought Damian Priest's Money in the Bank briefcase down to the ring, but Randy Orton's return put a stop to a potential cash-in. Rhea Ripley tried to set Randy Orton up for an attack by the Judgment Day last night, but the Legend Killer saw it coming. Orton also picked up a victory over NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio last night on WWE Raw. Earlier today, Dominic Mysterio shared an image on Instagram claiming that he was the MFR. Ripley reacted to Dirty Dom's post and agreed with his assessment of himself. Rhea Ripley recently disclosed what she likes the most about her fellow stablemate Dominic Mysterio. During a Q&A session conducted by Sportskeeda Wrestling, the Women's World Champion answered various questions from wrestling fans. When asked to name her favorite thing about Dominic Mysterio, the 27-year-old noted that the two have come a long way in their relationship and that Mysterio has always had her back. My favorite thing about Dom, man, what is there not to love about Dom? My favorite thing is just how supportive he truly is to me. We have come a long way in our little relationship and he's always had my back, said Rhea Ripley. The Judgment Day's popularity continues to grow as the faction gets stronger every week. It will be fascinating to see who challenges Ripley for the Women's World Championship next in the weeks ahead on WWE Raw. Who would you like to see face Ripley for the Women's World Championship? Randy Orton's plan. With Randy Orton back in action in WWE, the possibilities for feuds and rivalries are seemingly infinite. A wrestling veteran has predicted that the Viper will lock horns with the current ally soon. The Apex Predator's returning bout saw him teaming up with Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Sami Zayn to take on the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre in a men's War Games match at Survivor Series 2023. While the team won, there was a notably tense moment between Jey and Orton that referenced the latter's past rivalry with the Bloodline. Moreover, the segment where he seemingly made his peace with Jade did not quite seem convincing to many. Speaking on the topic in this week's edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's unscripted podcast, legendary wrestling journalist Bill Apter claimed that the alliance would not last. According to the veteran, the two would again feud down the line. I am gonna predict, by the way, that the Randy Orton-Jey Uso marriage currently, that they are pals now, that's not going to last. Randy Orton, the Apex Predator, never forgets, Bill Apter said. Jey Uso and Orton last fought each other in 2010, more than 13 years ago. It remains to be seen if the two will face each other again soon. Do you think Randy Orton will feud against Jey Uso soon? Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley in a massive twist. Randy Orton facing off in a promo against Rhea Ripley on this week's episode of WWE Raw was one of the most well-received segments of the show. However, a wrestling veteran believes there is one thing that could have made it better. The Viper is seemingly embarking on a feud with the Judgment Day for the time being, putting aside his grievances against the Bloodline. After the promo, he was attacked by JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, but was able to thwart the assault with ease. Speaking about the segment on Sportskeeda Wrestling's unscripted podcast this week, the NWA Hall of Famer Bill Apter pitched an idea for Randy Orton to hit Rhea Ripley with an RKO. I'll tell you the scenario I just thought of. Randy's eye-to-eye with Rhea. Behind him comes Damian Priest, because now he looks like a threat and Randy is in between the two of them now. He's looking back and forth and the fans are going RKO, and he makes like he's gonna RKO Damian Priest, but he goes after Rhea Ripley instead. Priest is like stunned. Randy leaves. Oh my god. Did you see that? Bill Apter said. What is next for Randy Orton in WWE? Only time will tell. Do you think Randy Orton should have hit Rhea Ripley with an RKO? Cody Rhodes a AEW connection to affect his first world title in WWE following CM Punk return. WWE has seen a flurry of developments over the week, including CM Punk's blockbuster return and Cody Rhodes being thrust into a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura. While it may still be quite far off, a wrestling veteran believes that Cody will eventually transition into being the World Heavyweight Champion. With Seth Rollins currently holding the title, discussions about who he will drop it to are rampant in the pro wrestling community. The legendary wrestling journalist Bill Apter was recently asked to share his thoughts on it, and he believes that there is a chance that Rollins' World Heavyweight title will be taken by CM Punk, owing to the feud already being teased between them. Speaking on this week's episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's unscripted podcast, Bill Apter further stated that Cody Rhodes could then defeat CM Punk and take the World Heavyweight Championship in his grasp. If they switch the World Heavyweight Championship, which if you are taking it in that direction, if they switch that from Seth Rollins to CM Punk, then Cody becomes the guy to beat CM Punk, cause it's the perfect end of the story because of the relationship or non-relationship with AEW there, Bill Apter said. While the plan seems a little convoluted right now, it remains to be seen if Bill Apter's prediction will come true. Do you think Cody Rhodes will go after Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship? Roman Reigns, the biggest star in WWE despite recent returns. Despite being away from the active scene for long stretches, Roman Reigns is still the biggest attraction in WWE, according to the legendary wrestling journalist Bill Apter. The tribal chief appears on screen very sparingly and defends his title even less. However, there is no denying that the atmosphere shifts whenever he makes an appearance. His contributions to the company are also nothing to be scoffed at, as the Bloodline story is considered to be one of the best storylines in WWE yet. Speaking on an episode of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Unscripted podcast this week, Bill Apter explained the reason behind Roman Reigns' top-tier status despite his absence. While they talk about him all the time on both shows, so he is there in terms of mentality of the product. He is still there. So when he comes back, it's a special attraction. They always had a face of the company, but I think now in the past few years that rather than depending upon that guy, that person like a Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage or Bret Hart to be the face of the company, they want this to be an all-encompassing company that everybody is out there, so to say, Bill Apter said. The last time Roman Reigns fought inside the ring, he took down LA Knight at Crown Jewel 2023 and retained his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. As of now, what is next for him remains to be seen. Do you agree with Bill Apter's opinion on Roman Reigns?
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take